Please raise your hands for questions. Coach?
Yeah, I mean, just first of all, man, what an awesome atmosphere. Homecoming, we expected it, and it was. Everybody, out in red. Students were into it. Great atmosphere, and we're obviously proud of what our guys did tonight. But anytime you can do that on a night like homecoming, we're putting some great people in the Hall of Fame. But also you got alumni coming back and people that have so much pride about this program, and be able to put a product out there that they can be proud about, I think is huge for us. And we take it at the heart. We talked about it this week for our team. What kind of, how much effort can we go out and play today in all phases. You're obviously really proud of our defense and Coach Veit and the whole defensive staff putting together a game plan to contain the nation's top passing offense. And what they did tonight was incredible. Holding them to 137 yards passing, and can't say enough about what those guys did and our players of how they executed the plan, all week long in practice. I thought he did an outstanding job with that. And then our offense to go out there and rush for, 266 yards and to control the game that way. We haven't really won games this year like this where, we won the time of possession by 10 minutes. We were controlling the game, running the football. And I thought it was a good game plan to come in and be able to do that, keep their offense off the field. And then again, I thought our special teams were outstanding. We forced a fumble, we get the ball back, we knocked down 2 field goals, and Max had to punt one time, but it was 44 yards with no return. So it was a great execution in the teams as well. So it was just a complete team win, and that's how we like it.
Even in your best vision of how this game was going to play out, was it holding them to 137 yards passing?
No, I mean, I obviously didn't think about a number of yards we'd hold them to, but I think the big thing for us was, we felt like they may hit a few plays here and there, but let's keep them out of the end zone. And I think, early in the game, I thought we did a great job with that. Right there at the end of the first half, they go get a touchdown, and then they get another one right at the end of the beginning of the third quarter. And they started grabbing some momentum, and they cut it with 7 points. And I thought our team did a great job at that point of starting to make plays. We get the ball back. We go, and the offense goes and scores. We get the fumble, we score again. I just thought we responded in a great way at the end of that game to grab that momentum back when it could have went either way.
A lot of quarterbacks get pubbed this time of year. Your guy doesn't throw for a ton of yards, but throws 2 touchdown passes, 85 yards rushing. Was it a pretty big sigh of relief when he scampered 23 yards and strutted in there?
Yeah, no, it was awesome. We certainly going to utilize his legs because he's good. He's a good runner. He runs hard. He runs to score. He runs to get first downs. I love the demeanor that he takes when he's running the football. But also throwing the football, he was very efficient again tonight. We didn't need as much in the passing game for this game, but when we needed it, he came through. Incredible play there at the end on the touchdown pass. I mean, I had a great view right there. I mean, that was one of those low arm angle throws that ends up getting in there. Not exactly how we drew that play up, but we'll take it, to get the touchdown. But it was a great play on that 3rd and 1. But Brendan is playing efficient football, and that's what we're asking from him. Take what the defense is going to give us, nothing more, nothing less. And I thought we did a great job of that tonight.
You've kind of been criticized by fans about sometimes being too conservative in the second half, but it's 2 straight weeks where a turnover turns directly into points, and then the score just gets wider and wider. Does that kind of make you realize the level you guys can go up to when you start having those turnovers and turning those into points?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a very efficient offense, and I think, we've talked about this early in the season, how you get in the second half, you're not going to take as many chances in the second half, if you're going to try to win the football game. And if you're playing good defense and good special teams, the ball's going to bounce your way some. The last couple of weeks it has. We both blew both of those games open in the fourth quarter by playing this way. And obviously we expect our guys to go out and make plays, and they were able to do that. But I'll take 41 points if that's a little conservative in the second half. I'll take it.
What does it say about your team or this defense? You mentioned about how they started making the big plays when they needed to take away momentum. What does that say about this team or this defense?
Yeah, I mean, I think they play with great poise. I don't think they get rattled if they give up a play or a first down, and shoot. I mean, they hit a couple 4th downs on us. I mean, again, it's 6 opportunities to defend a 4th down. I mean, I know we're the most in the Big 12 at defending 4th downs. I mean, I know that. But again, tonight we had to defend 6 more. but I don't think they panic. I think they continue to play the next play. And when you do that, then you're going to make more plays than not. And so, and also when teams get down the red zone, they don't panic. I mean, when they get down there, they continue to make their plays. They're going to run through the football, and it's never over until it is. And I think I love that spirit about them. And we'll continue to get better to try to get off the field on these 3rd and 4th downs. But I think at the same time, you got to play with that same great poise that we've been playing with.
Do you think that Brendan Sorsby deserves to be in the Heisman conversation at this point in the year?
I think that he just needs to continue to take care of his business, which is taking what the defense gives us. And at the end of the season, when we get to it, they're going to look and they're going to find, all right, who's the best teams, number one, because the Heisman always goes to the best teams, and then who's playing the best on that team. So if we're continuing to do the things that we're doing right now, then his name will be mentioned. But we don't worry about it now. There's a month left of football, so we got to continue to do the things that have gotten us to this point so far.
You mentioned the rushing yards. Was that by design to shorten the game and keep Baylor's offense off the field, or was that just game script, game flow, having success and sticking with it?
Well, I think going into it, just at a offensive versus their defensive approach, we felt like we can run the football, and we felt we needed to run the football. And by doing that, a byproduct of that is to be able to keep them off the field. But I think the main mindset was let's be physical on offense and let's just try to run it right at them. I mean, I think that was the main thing, but just the byproduct of it was the fact that we were able to occupy the ball and keep them off the field.
Coach, obviously, we talked the offensive game. Let's talk about the defensive end. Trey Golden-Callard had his best game of the season. Obviously, this season, he's playing with a little bit more of a purpose after some stuff he dealt with this offseason. Talk us through the growth of him and what you've been able to see from him over the recent weeks.
Yeah, I mean, number one, he's just a great human being. I love being around Trey. He's always a positive attitude. Even though he's dealt with some things that you mentioned, he's dealt with some personal things that have been tough on him, but he still comes to the building there with a great attitude and ready to work. He's a leader. He's a quiet leader. I think he's really grown over the last 2 years as well, because he's not the biggest guy out there, particularly playing safety. And I thought this last year, he's not very big, and then we're asking him to come fill that alley right there and tackle these big backs we got to tackle in this conference. But he never shies away. I mean, he's always flying down in there trying to make a play. But more importantly, I just love how he carries himself. He's a very, very great individual.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but you had scored on every red zone trip this season.
I know. I found out about it a while ago.
And then you take a knee. Should you have kicked a field goal there?
No. We have scored in the red zone every time we wanted to score. That is still 100%. We didn't want to score that time. That's how we should put that. Zach?
We'll write in the notes like that, Coach.
Yeah.
Rustin, Scott.
Scott, I believe this is your first single season 7-game win streak as a head coach. Had a few 6-game win streaks, but your first single season 7-game win streak. Does that mean anything to you? What stands out about that number?
No, I mean, it just means our team's playing good. That's what it means. You did some fact checking on that, huh? So, no, that's not something I think about. I mean, I think about how we can be good each and every day, the day that we're in. That's what I think about. And what our guys have been able to accomplish is a byproduct of that. They really bought into that, and really, going out every single day and done the best they can that particular day, and then it's showing up on game day. And I think that's what we're seeing. And we got a lot of respect for this conference. We have a lot of respect for the teams that we're playing in this league. I think it's some great coaches and some great players, and it's hard to win football games. And so for what we've accomplished this far, I think it says a lot about our guys.
What kind of peace of mind does Steven Rusnak give you?
He's pretty calm, man, and very confident. We see it in practice every day, and even in practice, like when he doesn't knock one down, the next one for certain it's going in. That's just the way he is. He's got a lot of confidence in his ability, and all our team does too. So we all believe in him. And when he trots out there, we expect him to make it. And he does too. And most of them all of them are going in right now. So hopefully we keep that going.
Scott, looking at the schedule going into November, Utah next week, do you guys sense that while the schedule may be getting very difficult, what you're playing for is exactly what you wanted to set out to play for coming into the season? Do you guys feel that way going into November?
Yeah, I mean, we felt that way all year, even after the Nebraska game, and we still had our goals all out in front of us, and they're still out in front of us, and but we have to stay in the moment. We have to stay the task at hand, which, after tonight, we'll come in tomorrow, we'll clean this game up, and it'll all be on Utah. I mean, will it be a challenge? Absolutely. They're an outstanding football team. To go on the road, we got to fly all the way across the country to play these guys. So, yeah, it'll be a challenge. But man, it's what we're signed up for, and we're excited about it. We're excited about this opportunity to be playing, here at the end of October, early November, for playing for a conference championship.
Saw Evan Pryor come off the field and head to the locker room late in the game. Any update on his status?
No, we'll have more, obviously, when we get in here and get some things on that. But it's some kind of lower leg injury. But we'll see what that looks like probably by Monday.
I asked Brennan this question last week, but when did you realize that the expectations for this team should be beyond just a bowl game? He said it was when everyone got here in the spring and he saw how much talent you guys had.
Yeah, I do. I go back to also the once we got our team here, because most of our team was here in the spring, but then we got everybody here when we started the summer. You could feel it. I mean, there was a sense in the building. Everybody's holding everybody accountable. We didn't hardly have many at all mishaps, guys late or whatever, which, you're going to have some of those on a team of 100 and some guys. It's a tight team. It's a team that care about each other. Our guys don't really care about stats. I think obviously, if you're not making a tackle or if I'm not getting a catch or a carry, I mean, obviously you're upset because you want to get that. But ultimately, our guys care about winning. And when you have a team full of guys in a locker room that care about winning, then you're going to win more than you're not. A great example is Max. I said, man, Max, did you do anything tonight? He's like, I had one punt, coach. I had one punt. And I was like, he said, but you look at that score. Like he said, look at the score. He's like, so he don't care. And so that's the kind of guys we have in that locker room. And as long as we continue to have that attitude, we'll have a good football team.
Did you try to do an Australian accent there?
Yeah, I think it went a little bit more England or British. My wife makes me watch these dumb British shows sometimes, so I probably went that route.
Scott, final question.
What does a win, a homecoming win, when you have former NFL guys, draft picks, all sorts of guys that played here, some on good teams, some on bad teams, you come through with a Big 12 win?
Yeah, that's what I said it earlier. I think anytime you can come away with a huge win on homecoming, it makes everybody proud. Everybody's going away. They're going to the homecoming parties now. They're celebrating. They get to talk about our team. Everybody's having a great time, and that's obviously what you want on homecoming. So we'll do the same thing. We'll go celebrate this win, watch a little college football this evening, and then put this one to bed tomorrow and get on to Utah.
There's no good British TV on?
I hope not. No, not tonight. This football tonight, baby.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.